Hi, everybody. I'm Katrina Rasbold, the Gringa Bruja, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, house cleaning. And I don't mean the kind with sweeping and mopping and doing dishes and that sort of thing, because that really isn't one of my favorite subjects, but a different kind of cleaning. Most people know, and we've got a video to support this as well if you want to research that, how to smudge their home. That's a very common thing that's done. You can smudge your home with any type of aromatic cleansing herbs like sage, sweetgrass, cedar, lavender, juniper, any number of agents, particularly from the salvia family, that burn on a charcoal or burn in a rolled stick. You wave the smoke around your house and it cleans the negativity away from your home. That is a very wonderful practice, and I know people who do it regularly. I did it so often in the last 40 years or so that my grown children, of which I have six, actually will still, as adults, settle down and be very calm as soon as I start to smudge the house. Smudging is important, make no mistake. It's something that everybody should do, just like you should sweep your floor and wipe down your dishes from time to time. However, there is a deeper sort of clean that I fully recommend. In the Botanica della Reina, I often have people coming in saying, I have to smudge all the time. I can't seem to ever get my house clean enough. And sometimes they'll have a disturbing energy in the house that keeps coming back, that they can't seem to get out. And there's a reason for that. Smudging cleans the air. Smudging is very effective at cleaning the air. However, just like when you live with a smoker, and even when they aren't smoking or aren't present, or even a smoker who has moved out of a house, you will still have the smoke that has seeped into the curtains and into the paint on the walls and into the structure of the home. Sometimes you can walk in and still smell the smoke, even if the person hasn't smoked in many months there. The same way that that happens, negativity seeps into the walls, into the structure of your home. And there's a deeper level of cleaning that you can do that's extremely effective that goes beyond smudging, and it's actually sort of like a liquid smudge. I highly recommend it. It uses the ingredients that are in this kit right here. At Botanica della Reina, we put all of this kit together so that you've got everything in one, or you can buy the items separately, or you can make them at home. This is Thieves Vinegar, which is a purificant. It's a disinfectant for your home, for the energy of your home. And also because it's a vinegar base, it's an actual disinfectant. We also have Chinese Wash, which is a blessing for your home. It opens doors, it creates opportunities, and it blesses your home with abundance and prosperity. So, and also happiness. In fact, I call the Chinese wash happy in a bottle because it smells amazing and creates this wonderful energy within your home. This is all used together for ideal cleaning. In fact, on our website for botanicadelarena.com, which I will link at the bottom of this video, there is actually a learning library card that talks about the progression of this that we're going to go over. And it tells you exactly the order to do it in, just like we're going to discuss here. So this is what we're going to run through today very quickly. We're not going to talk so much about the smudging because we already have a video on that and because it's a very widely popular subject that's easy to find information on, but I don't find a lot of information on these two. Now, purchasing or making Thieves Vinegar and Chinese Wash, which are traditional hoodoo recipes. Hoodoo is a practice that originated in the southern United States, and you can learn about that on our Gringa Bruja videos as well, because we have a video on the history and the development of hoodoo. But these are hoodoo practices that have infiltrated into the Appalachian granny magic and also into the brujeria and curanderismo magic of the southern United States. So we're going to use those to our advantage. Now, I want to tell you, I do this all the time in my house, and I do this in my shop. In my shop, we do this minimum once a month. If we start to feel the energy shifting and getting weird, then we will do it more often. So this is part of the reason why when people come into our shop, they say, wow, it feels so good in here. The first time that I did this in my home, I had already been having meetings with spiritual people for many, many years. So these were people that I knew very well who had been in my home many times. I did my usual clean, and overall our house is very clean. But I smudged out and then used the Four Thieves and the Chinese Wash before everybody came over. And the response was immediate. When these people walked in, they pulled back and they said, wow, what did you do? It really feels different in here. It really feels amazing. And that was how I knew that this stuff really does work and that it wasn't just my perception that it was working. So I highly recommend this, whether you make it or you purchase it. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Now, when you go to buy this, specific things you want to look for, because in any hoodoo products, there are always shysters out there. There are always people who just want to make a buck, who are not using the authentic recipes for this. And there are many authentic recipes, don't get me wrong, but there are certain hallmarks you look for to know that you've got the really good stuff. And over here, I've got some of the Four Thieves and the Chinese Wash that I have not yet branded and that I just finished bottling and making and bottling. So you can see what's inside a little bit better, and I want to show you that. With Four Thieves, I don't know if you can see this or not, let's look. You always want to make sure that there's real garlic in it. Now, the legend of the Four Thieves is very interesting. You might want to Google that, a nice story. But the idea is that you have 4 ingredients in here out of a huge list that's provided in most hoodoo cookbooks. And you choose 4 of the thieves. One of the thieves always has to be garlic for it to be authentic Four Thieves vinegar. So you can see that we've got actual cloves of garlic floating around in there. The other thing you want to look for is in your Chinese wash. Now, this is something I often don't see, which is troubling that I don't see it. In an authentic hoodoo Chinese wash, you will always have 3. Can you see them? I've got loud dogs, sorry. You will always have 3 broom straws, and these broom straws are taken from an unused broom. So you want to make sure that when you buy your Chinese wash, it has the broom straws in there, because that's what tells you that it's authentic. So when we are going to start our cleaning with this, the first thing that we want to do is the purification, and that is your Four Thieves. Now, there's enough in here to probably do a decent sized house twice, I would say. Now, one of the cool things about both Four Thieves and Chinese Wash is that, unlike most medicines, or home medicines, if you call it that, the strength of the item is not diminished when you dilute the item. So the magical potency is going to stay there even if you dilute it. So you can take a tablespoon of this and put it in your mop water, and the same thing with this, and it will do the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you dilute it, it'll still work. Now, I use mine full strength because I want the full potency of it, both in my shop and in my home. So the first thing we're going to do is I like to open all of the windows so that the energy can move. This helps create a flow through so that we have moving energy within the house, especially if it's been stagnant. We want to take a sponge, and this is just an ordinary cleaning sponge like you'd use in the kitchen, but like the broom straws, it needs to be one that has not been used for anything else. So just get a new sponge, go to the back on the non-scrubby side if you've got a 2-sided one, and we're going to take the Four Thieves vinegar, and we're going to pour it in the sign of a cross onto the sponge. Now, if you are of the Christian faith, you can make a Christian cross. If you are of one of the non-Christian faiths, you're going to make a solar cross to represent earth, air, fire, and water across your sponge. And you're just going to pour it right on there. Now, once you pour a decent bit on there, that's going to do a lot of territory. And we're going to go over the door jamb of your home. We're going to go over the threshold of your home. Go over the parts of your door that stick out. So when you're looking at your door, there's usually some that's in relief and some that kind of sticks out. And we're going to go over the parts that stick out. We're going to go over important central places in your home, like your kitchen counter, your dining room table, the top of your dresser, any altar areas that you have, your mantle. Think about areas where energy collects, where there are a lot of people around, where people are frequenting, and do those areas. I like to actually do my shower walls, because a lot of people go in and out of your shower if you don't live alone. And there's a lot of energy that takes place in a shower as you're going from unwashed to washed. That's a magical process in some ways. So go over all of the quote unquote, air quotes, important places in your home with the Four Thieves vinegar. And when you need to, you can just reload and just put the cross on there again and just do the cleaning process. Once you've done the Four Thieves vinegar, go to your sink, rinse out your sponge, and you're going to use the exact same sponge with exactly the same process for your Chinese wash. The Chinese wash has a very nice, usually almondy kind of smell to it. And like I said, I call it happiness in a bottle because it just smells good. Do the same thing. Pour it out and rub it on exactly the same areas that you cleaned with your Four Thieves vinegar. Another place I just started doing the cleansing and the blessing on in my home that I had never thought to before but made a huge difference is the banister of my stairs, because people touch it all the time. And when you need to cleanse your home, it doesn't mean you're particularly nasty. It doesn't mean horrible things are happening. It doesn't mean people are fighting. Although, if that happens, of course, you want to do that. Also, after people have been sick, you want to do that. But what it means is that houses get dirty. It happens. Just like you have to sweep your floor when you didn't throw something down on the floor to sweep up, you still have to clean psychically as well. You don't know what the UPS guy or the mailman who handled your mail before he put it in your mailbox um, thought. You don't know what was going on with the last phone call that you got that was a hang up and how frustrated they were. We have energy that comes into our house all the time, and we have to clean up after it. That's just the way it is. So do your Four Thieves first, Chinese washes after that. Once you've done both of those and gotten everything nice and clean, then you want to go to your smudge. And this is white sage. It doesn't have to be white sage. Sagebrush is a wonderful smudge. I like juniper because it also is very protective. Palo Santo, if you want to look that up and you're not familiar with it, is a wonderful smudge. It's a wood from Central America. And that's what we're going to do after we do Four Thieves, Chinese, then we're going to do the smudging. So we've cleaned the structure of your house of negativity. Now we're going to do the air, and that's when you would do your smudge. Now, if you really want to get crazy about it, put a tablespoon of each of these into your washing machine when you wash your curtains or when you wash your tablecloths. It won't harm the material, and it will take any of the negativity that's seeped into that to get it nice and clean. And again, you can put it in your mop water, in your wash water, and really go for it. So those are some ways to clean your home in addition to the smudging. And if you do all of that together, you've got quite a nice composite of cleaning. Another thing that you can do to help with that. Oh, hi, cat. The cat's bed is right over here, so the cat thinks he owns the desk. Another thing that you can do is you can burn a black candle while you're doing the cleansing, which helps to absorb the negativity down. When you begin the blessing, which is the Chinese wash, you can burn a white candle or a color candle that puts an energy into the room or into the environment that you want to bless the area. So you can also incorporate your color magic in with this also. Mama, what are you doing? Don't. You're messing with my light. So those are some ideas for good, thorough house cleaning. I also recommend that after you've done all of this, just burn an incense that you love and really get the feel of energy into your home to reclaim it and be in command of the energy that is in your sanctuary and in your home. In another video, we're going to talk about ways that you can move things around in your home to create a particular type of energy and how to create a sanctuary, a sacred space within your home. But it always starts with the cleaning, and that's the way you do it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop me a line, Katrina at gringabruja.com, and thank you for tuning in.